Good morning, everybody. It is Easter Sunday. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, Floss Tube. And boy, what a strange Easter it is, huh? My name's Amy. I'm from Little Farm Quilts. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch and sewing. I would say it's probably about equal parts of each from time to time. So if you're new here, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on Easter Sunday. If you're returning, thanks so much. I enjoy the comments, the questions, the encouragement to keep going. It's been a light in my day as of late, and I've enjoyed reading your comments. I try to heart all the comments. I don't typically respond to all of them unless you're asking a question that I can respond to really quickly. I will respond to most of them here. Don't worry, I just washed my hands on my channel. So hi, happy Easter. I have to tell you, I debated long and hard about doing a video today. Easter, let's face it, is something different for many people this year. I am of the Christian faith, so today is one of the most important days in my faith. But that being said, even if you're not of that thinking, Easter is usually a time when families get together and they celebrate and they do things. And this year is different, right? We're not. So if you followed along for any significant period of time, you know that my husband's family is all living in the local area. They're all very close. They do a lot of things together. We've had to, we normally do an every Wednesday night family night. We do an every Saturday morning breakfast. We've had to adjust how we do those things. Matter of fact, we haven't really done them other than to do a Zoom meetup, which was nice because we actually were able to include a couple of my kids that are not in the state, and so they got to talk to their cousins and to grandma and grandpa, so that was good. But we have to kind of change the way we're doing things, and I think, Matt and I were just talking about it upstairs. Church was different. Normally we get dressed up on Easter Sunday and go to church. Because normal church for me is jeans and a t-shirt, and we go because I'm really I'm simple that way. We then would head over to my in-laws for Easter dinner. I would call my mom and my sisters. I don't know, it's just different. It's different, I think, when you're used to getting together with family and you're not going to be able to in the same way that you're used to. And those traditions that spread across the generations are difficult this year. So that being said, I decided to do a floss tube because I think, why wouldn't we want to do something happy, right? Because it feels weird for me. I'm sure it feels weird for everybody else. I even, I don't know. I set up a Zoom meeting this afternoon with all of our family members so that we could be together for a little bit of Easter. It's kind of, I don't know, it's different. It's not the way it's used to be. It's not the way it will be going forward. But for right now, this is where we are. And you either have a choice, in my opinion. We can sit and let it get to us. Or we can use it to do something productive. So, that being said, here I am doing a floss tube on Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, everybody. I hope you're well. I hope that you are taking care of yourself. I hope that you're taking care of your family members. And I hope that you are finding time to craft and do some things that feed your soul. That being said, I also wanted to put in here, I am very thankful for my fellow healthcare workers standing on the front lines. I don't feel like I'm doing much right now other than to support my team. And I know it's not true. It's just me kind of judging what I do. But I'm thankful for those that are standing on the front line. My heart breaks when I hear stories of the ones that are in the ICUs with the intubated patients, and that pressure must be unimaginable. So I want to say thank you to everybody that might be watching that works the front lines. Healthcare profession are often overlooked, I think, and I think it's times like these where we shine. And just as firemen rush into a burning house, we rush to the front lines of medical needs every day. And I thank every one of you for being willing to do that. Okay, let's go on to other things. Today's Easter. Yesterday I sewed. So, oh gosh, if you guys were just here in my ADD mind, it's just crazy sometimes. And I think that being home more has caused that to be a little bit worse. I think like my mission was to clean up my sewing area yesterday and organize a little bit. I did that for about 10 minutes. Oh, I take that back. I spent about a half hour organizing my storage closet. But my actual sewing area, I spent about 10 minutes. So the day's a lot longer than 40 minutes, and I could have done a lot more. But instead, what I did, because the sun was shining here yesterday, it was beautiful outside except it was cold and it was a little windy. I moved some sewing supplies up into one of our spare bedrooms upstairs, because this is down in my basement where there's very little natural daylight. So when the sun is shining, I would like to be upstairs where we have lots of windows. We bought this house because it has lots of windows and lots of daylight. So I moved one of my old sewing machines that I refurbed up there. I moved a little like 3x3 card table, one of those fold out card tables up there, made that a cutting station. I moved my old ironing board that I don't even use anymore up there, patted it down with cotton towels underneath the cover because the cover was really thin and worn. Took my Oliso iron up there and other things. And in that room, there's a closet with some shelves. That's the room that my mom normally stays in when she comes to visit. And I'm tucking things away in there so that I have a sewing area up there. And I sewed in there yesterday. There's a TV in there. I watched Netflix, watched Prime Video, and I sewed. And I will be doing that again today. I'll be working on the Unity mystery quilt that Bonnie Hunter has been putting out for the stay-at-home quarantine thing. So I'll be working on that today up there. Yesterday, my project of choice was project bags. So I made myself 4 project bags, and I am not a project bag maker that sells them on Etsy. I don't think mine are good enough to sell on Etsy, to be honest with you. But anyway, I have a jar, which I've shown you guys before, full of 2.5-inch squares. So I decided to take some of those and put them to good use and make a couple project bags. And then I had some blocks sitting here that I was not going to do anything with, at least for right now, and I made those in project bags because after all, we are getting ready for Mania. Are you getting ready for Mania? I am. I forget, because I'm using my phone as the other camera that I'm going to switch you to in a second. So I forget. I have currently 10 whips. And I think I have 21 kitted items. So did I kit anything new since last time I talked to you? Yes. You can come in. Matt's at the door. You can come in, Chewy. He got me my favorite candy for Easter. Thanks, baby. He's the only one that gets to go to the store, so in all fairness, I couldn't go get him anything for Easter, but I will share him with these with him later, but they kill me. They kill me. He's such a sweetie. I do not deserve that man. I did kit up the Key by Barbara Anna Designs. This is a free pattern I told you guys about last time. Let me remind you. This pattern right here. It's the, I think, goose in a dress. Looks like a goose in a dress. I had dyed fabric for it and said I was going to tea dye it to knock it down. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna leave it just like this. And I'm gonna put this pattern on it. And I have ordered floss, some of the floss, but I do have enough in here to start it. This will be one of the ones that gets transitioned into my new project bags. This is what prompted me to make project bags, because I kitted 2 more kits up, and I'm out of project bags. So I'm into my Ziploc bags again, which I was all in Ziploc last year, so the fact that I'm only in a few right now is awesome. The next one that I kitted up was Queen Bee Flower Farm. This is a hands-on design, Priscilla Blaine. And I've had this because I really like the chalkboard. This is on 14 count chalkboard Ada. I've got a couple colors in there to get me started, because when I kit, I don't always have all the colors, so I'll just put a couple in there to get me started, and then I'll order more as I need it. That's my kind of... I'm going to leave this one out because I'm going to show you how it fits nicely. These big ones fit nicely in my project bags. I'm kind of proud of my project bags, can you tell? So let's get started looking at these project bags. So the 2.5 inch square ones, this is one of them. And I don't remember what fabric line this is. I'm sure it was left over from a sew sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop. And then this is all batiks, and it was left over from, well, several projects. So I have a Bargello quilt that I made for a retiring nurse, and so some of that is in there. My Christmas tree pattern that I worked up and did the sample on last year. Not Christmas tree. It's called Trees on Parade. It's available in my Etsy shop. Some of that fabric is in there, plus some left over from a Bonnie Honey mystery that I used. Just scraps. And I didn't show you the back on this one. It's just white. And the back on this one is this kind of gray triangle print. And I'm going to take you down. And one of them, one of these has the zipper going right to left, and one of them has a zipper going left to right. I like the zipper to go left to right, but I made kind of an error when I was sewing, and I decided it didn't really matter. So I'm going to see if I can switch you to my, yes, look at that, split screen. I'm getting so fancy schmancy with this. So I wanted you to see what I did. Let's move them together like this. So I had made a bunch of these that I showed on one of my, I think I might have showed them on Instagram. I had made a bunch of these they were eventually going to go in my Etsy shop. They have not made it that far yet. I've been doing more videos, so I haven't really had time to put new things into the Etsy shop. I think I put needle minders in, but never got these in. So it says Smile, and that's on this bag here, which I think is cute. This one, let me see if I'm directionally challenged. It's just, I got a string of stones. I should have kept them over here at Joann's, I think. It was a while ago when I was thinking about making needle minders. And I put one of them on the zip, and then I put this little medallion that says Love Much. I don't know if you can see that. It says Love Much. And I like them. I like them. And we'll switch you back. See, I was able to do that. I'm so proud of myself. I'm growing in this, whole YouTube thing. But this, what I wanted to show you with the Queen Bee Flower Farm, which that's not the one that's going to, well, this might go in this one. These bags hold those bigger patterns. So if I unzip, and I'm not selling these are for me only. They fit very nicely in there, and I'm kind of proud of myself. Look at, they're in there, the fabric will go in there, and the floss, and then we'll be all set, and I'm really proud of that. I am not a bag maker. I have made myself some. They're not the prettiest looking thing, and yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? The other two that I made, these were blocks that I had sitting around. Oops, I knocked the other camera. I had sitting around down here. I had started a Lori Holt block along, vintage block along. I had bought the book, and I made the first two blocks, and then I had quilt orders coming in, and the quilts coming in that need to be quilted, and t-shirt quilt orders coming in, and I just could not keep up with the vintage block along. I do have the book, and I am going to make one of those quilts at one time, but not right now. So instead of having the blocks sit here and just collect dust until I get around to doing that, because you know how that goes, right? I have quilt projects that have been sitting down here for a year. I have some that have been sitting, I think a year is about it. I'm looking over at my whips over there. And I always see something that, it's just like cross stitch, right? You see something you really like and you think you can get it done really quickly, and you go at it and it takes time away from your whips. And so this has been my year of the whip. That's why I only have 10 cross stitch whips, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quilting whips that have the ability to be done. I have block of the months that I'm not at the last block yet, and I have the mystery quilt that we're not at the last clue yet. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that have the ability to be completed. Like I have all the fabric, I have all the patterns, and I am working on getting those done. And that'll probably be something that I work on today, along with the mystery quilt, is some of that. And spending some time with my husband. But yesterday was bag day. I wanted to get some bags done for Mania, so that's what I did. So the other two bags were the blocks. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. The first block I did was the pumpkin, and I made that into a cute little bag. And all I did was I added 1.5 strips here with the zip, and then added batting in there and lining. And I love, this is one of my favorite neutrals. Anything with print on it, I'm in. It's my thing. I like newsprint, and that happens to be available at Joann's, and I get a lot of it. And I had to piece together a lining for this one, because those are the scraps I had up in the room. And I have trinkets on this one as well, and I'll show you in a second. And this is that. This is the other one. It's a pie and mitts. I only have a certain size zipper, and the zipper I have is not quite long enough to go this kind of length. And I would have wanted to widen this if I was going to do it this way. And since it's just for me, I just did it sideways, and that's that. This also has the print on the back. And somebody's sending me text messages. I have a zip in here, and kind of this off yellow, kind of light pale yellow lining. Now let's see if I can do this again with the camera. I'm so kind of impressed with myself. I swore I would never get into this type of video thing, and I think if you followed along enough, you know I've said that, because I have said the whole time that I don't want to get into the heavy video knowledge, and I'm finding that I want to do different things. So excuse my hands, no manicure, and I've been using hand sanitizer and washing my hands like nobody's business, so my skin's literally falling off my hands. Anyway, I had made, like I said, I had made some of these, so that's that. And then I put what looks like the Tree of Life. It looks very much like, I don't know if I can show this, my tattoo on my arm. It's like a tree of life with birds representing my 4 kids that have flown the coop. I like the Tree of Life. I like the thought of, it's one of my favorite things. I have a canvas down here with a Tree of Life that I painted on it, and I used buttons, all different colored buttons for the leaves. There's just, I don't know where that is right now. I should bring it out and show you guys sometime. But I love the thought of having roots. Like I was a very wild child. And I left. I went in the military, I left, and I did some cool things. And um, I very much, as I get older, am very much into having roots, having a place. And the tree represents my family and my kiddos and my grandkiddos, my parents, my in-laws and their family. And it's important to have roots, and it's also important to explore. So I thought those two things going together was perfect. And then this one, it's all good with a little turtle. And isn't it funny how that blue kind of matches the blue in there? And I'm not into the trinkets and all the fancy stuff. I was going to sell these on floss drop rings in my Etsy shop. I'm not typically a floss drop ring kind of person, but I might be because it makes them pretty. And I like pretty things. So that's what I did for myself. So guys, let me know what you think about my bags. Definitely not something I'm going to sell on my Etsy shop, and this is why. I'm going to show you, really honestly. See how this corner here is perfect? It's a perfect the way I would like it. It's not bound, it's the backing is cut a half an inch larger than the front, and then you press over a quarter inch and then fold another quarter inch over, and you have to miter, sorry guys, miter the corners. That to me is not the easiest thing to do. So, and I also didn't change thread on these to match what I was sewing. I just used, my regular like sewing thread that I always use, my Aurifil, I forget what color number it is that I always use, but I buy the big cones because that's what I always use. I do have different thread colors, and I could have changed it to match like here on the zipper, but I didn't. I was too lazy, did not want to wind bobbins, so please understand, these are for me, they're not going anywhere else. But then you can see corners like this. See this? Where I tried it 4 different ways and could not get it to miter perfectly, and so I did what I could and then just sewed it down. And so again, you know, these are not perfect. This did not miter perfectly. I had it miter perfectly, and then when I sewed it, something happened. So maybe by the time I make myself 50 more, I'll be wanting to make these. And I really did not use a pattern. I simply took what I had, took some measurements out, and eyeballed some stuff and did the best I could. And like I said, these are just for me. I did these without the vinyl front. The ones I've done in the past, like this one here that holds my current whip, this has a vinyl front. And I like the vinyl front. I'm not a huge fan of sewing on the vinyl. So if I might play with that because I do have some vinyl upstairs. If I get bored working on my quilts, I might do that today and see. So that's about the bags. I guess I went on a long time about the bags, but I'm pretty proud of them. Yeah, they're no joke. I had made this one before, and I showed you guys this one before. Let me switch this view again. This one, it has this inside. I quilted. Same thing with the squares, but I made it the back instead of the front. And then I put this one, I put binding around, and I actually did it the way I would do a quilt. I sewed it to the front and hand stitched it around to the back. I would probably not do that again for project bags, just because project bags we go in and out of all the time, and project bags are not something I would call like heirloom quality, where a quilt could be. Alright, so you saw my project bags. I actually have a list today. I told you about my mania plans. I'm going to take my whips, whatever I have, plus whatever it takes to make 31. And that's going to be my May. So I am excited about that. I showed you the new kitted up for Mania. I was going to show you my henpecked finish that I posted on Instagram. However, I forgot to grab it and bring it over here. So, if you want to see henpecked, it's up on my Instagram at a little farm quilts, and you can look at that. See, I talked about the bags. Everybody's been asking me if I've been making masks. Honestly, I have not. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. I don't go anywhere but work at home, so I don't really need a mask. And I'm a nurse. I can get one if I need one. We're trying to be very careful. We're trying to just stay home and do what we can that way. I think this morning was and honestly, I know a bunch of you are probably going to judge me on this. I deal with COVID every day without fail for my work. And my sewing time, I want to not be COVID related. And it just, I know that makes me probably shallow or self-preserving, selfish, whatever you want to call it. But I haven't really felt the need to do that until this morning. All of a sudden this morning I felt the need to make a few. And so I have had somebody reach out to me and ask for a couple, so I will get in touch with her and I will make them a couple if I'm going to make some for Matt and I and some family members. I will do that. But I have to tell you, as far as sewing masks, I don't know. It's hard because I really want some of my time to not be COVID related, and I could easily get sucked in and be sewing them all day long, and I might. Do you know what I mean? And it changes from day to day. But I have gotten asked that. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that I've been into this huge mask movement as far as sewing hundreds of masks for people. I have not. And if I do, it'll be for me, some family members, and some close friends. I know that my mother and a friend of hers have been sewing lots of masks up where they are in northern New York State. And I mean, they're way north. But there are lots of people sewing masks right now, and yeah. And anyway, that's all I'm going to say about the masks. I may sew some today. If I do, I will post them on Instagram, so follow along. What else is in my thing? Okay, so let's look at my whip. I'm kind of monogamous in my stitching right now because I'm trying to move my whip count down. So I had finished Hello Spring. That was the chicken in the cup I showed you guys. I finished Henpecked, which was a new start for me. Was not a Mania start or anything like this. This was a Mania start last year. This is Four Seasons by Little House Needleworks. And at first I really didn't like the pattern. I do like it now. I'm not sure how I will finish it, but I'll figure that out. I have a lot of cross stitches that I haven't FFO'd yet because honestly I don't have stuff here to FFO a lot of it. I think I may go into our storage area and pull out some frames and things and maybe FFO some things that way for right now. But here's how far I got. So before, I only had that first brown house area done. Oh, directionally challenged. This one done. And I didn't even have all this bottom done. I've gotten the rest of this bottom done. All of this and the red house for the winter scene. And I will continue stitching on it today. Well, we'll see. If I can get it done today, I will. If not, it'll just keep going until I do, because I would like to get it done and get down to 9 whips. Because I want to start all the things thing. Oh, and shoot, I should have brought my knitting project down here too. I started a knitting project. Anyway, that's my one and only whip to show you. See, I make a list and I still miss things. Isn't that like, I don't know, anyway. I do have some haul. I have lots of orders out there. Guys, if you're ordering from L&S, Fat Quarter Shop, 123 Stitch, any of those, if it's not a PDF, it's going to take a bit. So, I have orders out. I don't even remember how many orders I went out. I have out. I have at least one large order at 123 Stitch. I have another 2 orders at the Fat Quarter Shop. I have at least 3 or 4 through shops on Etsy, all held up in shipping. And so I think because they're these companies are short staffed, number one. Number two, I think the Postal Service is also short staffed. Just, you have to be patient. Things just aren't arriving as fast. But I did get some Happy Mail yesterday. I had placed an order a while ago, I don't know how long ago, at Fat Quarter Shop. And every time I need to order something from them, I always look at their daily deals to see if there's anything I want to add to the order. Because I've gotten myself down to only ordering from my usual spots once a month. Because sorry, my phone just distracted me. I only want to pay shipping once. So I've started to make a list of the things I need to order from places, and then I just place one order and pay shipping once a month. But they had, I'm going to switch your cameras again. They had on a daily deal. Oh, that's not going to work this time. Okay. So let me just take this down for a second. Get it out of my way if it's not going to work. But it worked for a little while. That was good. They had pin minis. These are from Just Another Button Company. They are handmade. And the reason I like the other cameras because this one doesn't focus well. It is called, oh, I don't know. It's got 2 leaves and a green pumpkin in here. And I'm resisting joining the Just Another Button Club. But I do like the pin minis, and I'm going to look into making a beehive shaped, because I'm a beekeeper, pin cushion, so that I can start collecting pin minis and those. And I'm not a collector, but these are stinking cute. So I got that. I bought myself a new friction pen. You guys know I use friction pens on everything. Everybody has thoughts on these. I like them. I have never had a problem. I've been using them for years to mark my quilts, to mark squares. I have never once had an issue with anybody coming back at me because this reappeared. I have never once had any issues with it reappearing on any of the things that I've done for myself. And I've made a lot of things for people where I've used this pen. So it is what it is. I love these pens. I got a purple one just because it's a different color, and I know my other ones are getting low. So I got that. I picked up some floss, some fancy floss, some classic Colorworks because I needed it. I got some more black coffee because I seem to go through this the most, because when I convert colors, this is one of my favorites. So I got 3 skeins of black coffee. I got a skein of honeycomb. I got a skein of Nature Trail, which is kind of like a very light sagey green. And I got pine needles because I was running out. And then I got a tube of 28 count even weave Lugana. And I don't know what I got this for, if I had something in mind. I don't think I did. That's what happens when it takes so long for your orders to get here. You forget why you got it. But like I said, the 123 Stitch order I know has things in it that I need for Mania. So does one of the Fat Quarter Shop orders that I placed. But if they don't get here, I have most of Mania kitted, so I have plenty to work on. Hopefully they come soon. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue to support my... I'm a small business, so I support small business. And ideally, I'd like to get my business up and running enough that I can retire from nursing and do it full time. But if it stays what it is and I keep nursing and I work the business part time, I'm good too. but I always like getting a little bit of support, and I like to support back. I believe in small business. I believe in small business being the backbone of this country. Um, and there's a lot of creative people out there that are doing awesome stuff. And so, um, my favorites this week, I'm going to start doing everybody's doing it, my best things this week. I decided, as a Little Farm Quilts, I reached out to Teresa Kogut of Creative Whims Designs, because I'm kind of wanting to try punch needle, but it's a little scary. She was very kind in her response, and I ended up ordering a punch needle pattern. And I did end up ordering a punch needle tool. And I did not, it's funny. Anyway, and so I'm looking forward to that. The other best thing this week was Michelle G from Bendy Stitchy. She released all of her Nashville releases as PDFs in her Etsy shop, so go see her. I love that. I love that Lindy Stitches has hers available in PDF as well, because, we like that instant gratification. And honestly, if you have an iPad, they could stay a PDF on your iPad and you can use your iPad. I print them because I'm an old girl. I like paper. What other best new things? I found a new floss tuber that I did not know. It's Steel City Stitchers. It's for women. And Stitching with Friends is another one that's a Zoom meeting turned into floss tube. I like those. I think they're cute. I had fun watching them. And to that end, there's also something I wanted to throw out there. I am willing to host a Zoom stitching meetup for anybody who follows me and would like to join, on Tuesday evenings, 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you are interested in such a thing, comment below this video and reach out to me, and I will set that up. And even if it's only 2 or 3 of us, at least we're getting together and stitching and getting to know each other. And so that's where I'd like to leave you today. I've been rambling a bit, but today is Easter, and we need to reach out to each other and help take care of each other. So if you're interested in a Zoom meeting stitchy meetup on Tuesday night, comment below this video and let me know. Everybody have a happy Easter, no matter how it looks for you. And reach out to those that you're close to. I'll see you next time.